Hey everyone, I'm Mackayla. Welcome to the Soundtrack of Our Lives podcast. We're going to jump right in with the two hardest questions of all. Who are you and what have you been up to recently?
My name's Russ Rankin. I'm the singer of Good Riddance, and I've been doing interviews for a new album. That's what I've been up to.
A lot of interviews.
Pretty good amount, yeah. More than usual. We have
Mhm.
a publicist kind of working for us now. We have a manager working for us now. We've never had so new yeah, new stuff going
That's
on.
exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
How does it feel to finally be putting this record out?
It feels great. We recorded this album almost a year ago,
Hmm.
and because of well, everyone now probably knows Fat Records was bought by Hopeless.
Hmm.
And so we finished this album kind of knowing that was happening, but we were waiting for everything to get settled, get introduced to the new team at Hopeless, and getting all that stuff worked out. And we wanted to make sure that we had time to prepare for releasing this album,
Hmm.
and the label had time to get things ready. And so yeah, it's we've never done that before. We usually do an album and then it's like a month later it's out. So yeah, it's been a long time coming for us anyway.
Do
So
you
yeah, we're
think,
stoked.
yeah, do you think you like this process better?
I think it's preferable to have the record out like quicker after you
Hmm.
record. This was just a combination of circumstances that were
Yeah.
once in a lifetime kind of thing. Like usually Fat's like got a pretty tight schedule with our releases after recording. So because of the label transition and us wanting to make sure that we and the label wanting to make sure that we could be their priority,
Hmm.
we deferred to their timing.
Yeah. Well, it's exciting that you can finally put it out now.
Yes, yeah, we're stoked about that. See, hopefully, I mean, the feedback has been good on the two singles that have been released. A lot of people like it, so yeah, I'm
I
excited to
enjoyed
see
them.
what people think. Thank you.
How did you decide that those two were going to be the singles?
It was a decision that was made with us and the label, like together.
Hmm.
We wanted to make sure that we wanted the first single to be a faster, more aggressive song. And then the second single, Drive Faster, I think we all sort of agreed that was like, I mean, we don't operate in hits, but if we did, that would be a hit,
Hmm.
I guess. And so yeah, it was a combination of like, well, let's throw out like a really blazing song. It's the first song on the album too, to start. And then let's throw out what we think might be the catchiest song on the album.
Hmm.
Um, Friday when the record comes out, there's going to be a new video dropping at the same time
Ooh.
for the song In Pieces. So that'll be cool.
What was it like to film that video?
It's terrible. It's the worst thing ever. Ask any band. Uh, Videos, I like lyric videos better because we're not in
Hmm.
them.
Okay.
Uh, so, but yeah, our friend Derek Dale, who's done all of our music videos before, pretty much, he shot it, and we used a green screen, which we've never done before,
Hmm.
and so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all turns out and what people think. I mean, we're not getting any prettier, but it is what it is, right?
Hmm. So if people really like it, would you put out more music videos?
I don't think so for this album.
Hmm.
Uh, I think that's probably good. There's a lyric video already for the first single, and then it'll be this kind of like performance video for In Pieces, and I think we'll probably be good after that.
Okay. That's exciting. You don't have to film any more stuff.
Well, I don't know for sure. Like I'm just along for the ride. Like they might tell me that I have to do something else.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
It is
But
what
I
it
think we're
is.
done. Yeah, I think we're done.
That's nice, hopefully for you.
Yeah,
So for somebody who is going into their first record release, what advice would you give them?
that's a really good question. Because I think You're talking about if it's a band who's it's their first album, their first ever one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know because the main challenge for us now with record releases, the thing that we think about the most is we have to. There's a tendency to only play like one or two songs
Hmm.
in a set because we have now 10 albums and we want to like be conscious of no, we got to play more new stuff.
Right.
Even though we think people at the show might not know it, we have to like push it, get behind it, and like
Hmm.
present it. And that's always been a struggle for us. So but that doesn't, that's a moot point on our first album because nobody's heard anything from me.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I think I would just be telling people to bang the drum and do a lot of press and introduce yourselves to the world like at your most colorful and
Hmm.
be yeah, be true to yourself and be intentional about promoting your not only your music but your identity as a group and
Hmm.
what you guys are like why are you different than band A, B, or C?
Right.
Uh give somebody a reason to like go, "Oh, I want to check that out."
Hmm. So, with so much music out, how do you guys put together a set list? What does that look like?
Thankfully, I don't have to do it. That's our bass player's job, Chuck, and he has it down to a science. Like
Hmm.
he looks through all of our catalog because by this time for a lot of bands with several albums out, there are some songs that if you don't play them, like they're gonna come for you with the pitchforks
Hmm.
and torches. Like you got to play those songs. At the same time, like we want to play songs that we like, or we want to maybe introduce deeper cuts that we all like, but for some reason never got played live that
Yeah.
much. We've experimented with like social media, like, hey, what do you guys want to hear? And that's just been a disaster. Uh, I mean, it's a good idea to see what people want to hear, but um, yeah, and so and also for us now, a new thing that we're thinking about is because we do like blocks of songs on our
Hmm.
set list. So like four songs, take a stop, four songs, stop. Uh, and then we're thinking about now like what note does a song end on and the next song start on
Hmm.
so that it's a little bit of a cooler sonic segue.
Ooh.
And that's like advanced set list writing right
Hmm.
there. Like, okay, this song ends on F, so this next song could start on G, but it could not start on B, you know, like
Right.
just things like that. And there's some songs that are higher for me to sing
Hmm.
and and most singers their range doesn't grow as they get older. They get their range gets smaller.
Hmm.
And so there's a few songs in the set that like when I was young and younger and I didn't care or didn't know, I would just write songs in like keys that were hard for me to sing
Hmm.
because I'm like, oh, this is fine, this is easy. Not knowing that I have to be singing that when I'm this age and that it might be a little bit of a struggle some nights. And so we are strategically placing those songs. So I don't have to
Hmm.
do them all at once or at the end of a block of songs, just little things like that. That's a new curveball I threw Chuck by making our set lists this time. But he's been really good about that. And I think he likes it. I think it's like math to him,
Hmm.
like figuring out a set list. But we're conscious, like I said, of with this album, like even though maybe people don't want to know it, we want to play more new songs on our set
Yeah.
than probably we ever have from a new album.
So you mentioned that you guys, there's songs you want to play that you haven't. What are some of those songs that you really want to play live?
There's a couple songs from Operation Phoenix, which came out in 1999 that we were jamming at practice a couple weeks ago that we haven't played probably in like 20 years.
Hmm.
Uh, and some of those may never see like the light of day in an actual show, but like for us, it was just fun.
Hmm.
And because we practice really only for shows now. Well, we practiced a ton when we were getting ready for this album, but
Hmm.
when we're practicing, it's usually to get ready for a tour or shows. And so we're practicing the set. And it has become very like about 70% of it is always the same.
Hmm.
And so to entertain ourselves, we're like calling out older songs that never got played live, and just playing them at practice and to see how they felt. And if we were like, man, that felt great. Like, who cares if these people don't know it? We're gonna play it. Like, it's
Hmm.
gonna be fun. We're gonna make them like it. Um, so we were doing that. I can't think of a specific song. Yeah, a couple songs off Operation Phoenix that we did that were like we all kind of looked around after we were done, like, well, that was really fun, and we have not played that in like since Bill Clinton was president. And so um yeah, I'm blanking. I'm sorry. I can't
That's
think of
okay.
songs.
You've got a lot of songs.
Yeah, we do. We do. I'm wondering what does Bad Religion do, or what did the Ramones do
Hmm.
with like you got a finite amount of time to play, and you've got all this material,
Yeah.
and all of it's pretty solid. So like, what do you do? I mean, those
And
bands had way more
yeah.
solid material than we do.
And every person has specific songs they want to hear.
Yeah, like we kind of know the songs. Like I told you, like they're gonna come for us if we don't play them.
Hmm.
We know what those songs are. And so it's a matter of making sure that we fit those in, sprinkled throughout the set, but also some deeper cuts that are more for us. Like people paid to see a show, and we want them to enjoy it. But we also want to not just be like a jukebox. Like
Yeah.
we're people, and and so we try to figure out like what are some songs that we think are cool, and maybe these people think they're cool too if they heard them live. And then, like I said, with this new album, we are conscious of shoving it down people's throats
Hmm. Yeah.
more more so than we have in the past. And yeah, and not shrinking away from it. Like, oh, they might not know this song. It's like, no, we're just gonna play it. Like
Hmm.
this is the new album, and this is what we're gonna be going rolling on for a while. And so we might as well play as many of these songs as we can and give people an introduction to it.
So for somebody who hasn't seen you live, what could they expect?
I think we're an odd mix of like fury and stupidity. I think that we we play we play really hard. We're all influenced by more aggressive bands,
Hmm.
and yet Chuck, our bass player, is like a natural clown. Like it's just silly. So there's like these moments of really gnarly, intense delivery of the songs, and then there's like if someone's tuning or if Luke breaks a string, like then it's the Russ and Chuck comedy hour, and we just do funny stuff and get the crowd involved, and yeah, I think it's a good mix. It's entertaining, I would think. There's a lot of good banter. There's a lot of and as you tour enough times through the same cities, you get to there's like inside jokes with
Hmm.
different places that you go. Like one time we stopped at a truck stop, and Chuck bought this hat that said Buck Fever, like a hunting hat, like it was like fluorescent orange or
Hmm.
something. And we played Salt Lake City that night, and he had the hat on. And then every year we'd go back to Salt Lake City, and we'd be yelling Buck Fever, Buck Fever, and just silly things like that. Every band probably
Yeah.
has those things, and so those make the shows interesting. Yeah, for us, I think it's when we're actually playing, it's a pretty severe delivery, and we also want to have a good laugh, and we want people to have fun and just be stoked that they came.
So with having played a lot of shows, are there any particular ones or moments that stand out?
Like, I mean, I could tell you horror stories about stuff, but I think you're asking more about like
I mean,
highlights.
if it stands out to you because it was bad, that works.
Well, the coolest thing we played a show, I think it was in 2000 with a bunch of bands in Montreal, a bunch of bands way bigger than us, like Blink 182 and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And there was like 20,000 people there. And to be on stage and looking out at that many people, even though, I mean, it wasn't our show, they weren't there for us
Yeah.
specifically, but that was a moment where you're like just looking out like, wow, there's a lot of people here where you like can't see the end of them. It's
Hmm.
just like into the horizon of people. That was pretty cool. That was like a pinch yourself kind of moment, I guess. We've been able to play shows with well, like getting to play shows with Sick of It All, going on tour with them, going on tour with Lifetime, where I'm like, man, I can't believe I got to watch this band for free every night. This is insane. One of the worst ones, we played in Milan, Italy, and the promoter had oversold the show.
Oh no.
And so the club was packed and there was like tons of people outside that couldn't get in. And what the promoter did was they locked the door and
Oh.
left and just left the place. And there was like almost a riot
Hmm.
and people were like jumping on our bus and the people inside were like, what's going on? And it was yeah, it wasn't good. And there's nothing we could do about it.
Right.
And then when we finally did play, we I didn't have the language to explain like what was up.
Hmm.
Like all these people knew was like, hey, I paid money for this ticket and I can't get into the show. Like, what's up?
Right.
And it ended up not escalating any further than that, but it was a bummer. And it was one of those moments where, as a band, where you're like, okay, that happened. Like, how can we make sure that never happens again?
Hmm.
Sometimes it's just like learning lessons along the way. Um, there's things that we can't control,
Yeah.
but like once it happens, like there's probably something we could do next time to make
Hmm.
sure that this doesn't happen. Because that's the worst, is when people that like your band and pay to see you can't get
Right.
in. And they're mad at you because they think that's your fault.
It's not your fault
That's the
though.
word. It wasn't our fault, but ultimately it's our show,
Right.
and so I think that we had to take some responsibility. Definitely take some responsibility to make sure that that doesn't happen again, and
Hmm.
it hasn't.
That's
So that was
good.
a one-off, but it was definitely not the funnest time ever.
Yeah, I don't understand why people oversell things. It's never made sense.
Yeah, yeah. For-profit healthcare doesn't make sense, but we still have that.
A lot of things don't make sense. So, before I ask the last question today, was there anything else that you wanted to mention or talk about?
Super grateful for all the years of support from the prior Fat Records team. It's really dawned on us how fortunate we've been, and it's like this whole transition is a good thing for the bands, and yet it's sort of sad
Mhm.
because Fat was our family, and so yeah, just real super grateful. I wanted to shout out Mike and Aaron and everybody that's worked at Fat since we got on there a long time ago, and I also want to thank Bill Stevenson at the Blasting Room for doing another great job of engineering and producing our album, and Jason Livermore for another great mix. And I think that's about it.
Okay. Our last question is, what is the soundtrack of your life?
So the soundtrack of my life these days is a station on Sirius XM called First Wave,
Okay.
because I'm an 80s kid, and so all this alternative and new wave from the early mid 1980s. And it's funny because it's music that when I was in high school was like current, and I hated it because it wasn't punk. Like I didn't like the Smiths or the Cure or any of that stuff, and now I do. So I
I
don't know
mean,
what that means.
they say the music from like your teenage years is has the most impact on you.
Yeah, right. Because it's like it's the last time you were kind of like carefree and just hanging out and doing stuff with your friends, and then life like came and clobbered you on the head, and like so I think there's definitely something to that. So I just roll that all the time. But they have Marky Ramone does a show on there every week, and he has his own channel I listen to sometimes called Marky Ramone's Punk Rock Blitzkrieg. So that's a lot of classic punk.
Nice.
And Billy Idol has a show on there every other week and plays a lot of old punk too. So and once in a while, First Wave will throw in like a Sex Pistols or Buzzcocks or someone like that.
Mhm.
But no, I've been just getting down with like yeah, Depeche Mode and New Order and bands like that.
Mhm. So, for everyone who wants to stay updated on you, hear the new album, where can they find you?
Well, the album will be on Spotify and Apple Music and every place else. Vinyl is available through the label. You mean Keeping Up with Me?
It's just social. Do you guys have social media for the band? That kind of stuff.
Good Riddance SC at Good Riddance SC for Santa Cruz on Instagram is our main one. We're also on Facebook. Uh, I am I am not on any Meta platform. Uh, I'm just on Blue Sky.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Of course. Have a nice rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.